Hey guys, welcome back to a new video, and today we don't really talk about Battlefield, but then again it's also about Battlefield, but it's actually about Electronic Arts, about EA, and that they are going private. These news just came out today, and I'm gonna show you right here, it's the article, the press release details from September 29, so today. And there have been rumors around this for quite a few days now that EA is basically getting acquired by investors, by bigger investors, and will then be taken private instead of being listed in a stock exchange. So we want to go through this a little bit and what this means and what happens right now and which investors we're talking about, and also what this could potentially mean for us as players, or maybe not, or what will change, what would be beneficial from this, which advantage we could take as well as players, and which, well, disadvantages it could mean for us as well. But first of all, what does it mean if a company goes private? So taking a company private means that it transitions from being publicly traded in a stock exchange like EA was, to being owned by a very limited set of private investors. When the company is public and it's publicly traded, then you can, basically everyone can buy shares of that company, and you have a lot of stockholders and a lot of bigger and smaller investors. And usually with every decision the company is making, or with every successful or not so successful game, there is a reaction in the market and the shares go up and down. And there is a lot of daily reaction as well to everything that's happening. So EA is stepping away from this and will go private, and this means there will be no publicly traded shares anymore. Instead, the company will only have 3 investors. These investors are PIF, which is the Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia, which is basically the sovereign wealth fund of Saudi Arabia. And they already held 9.9% of EA before, which they are basically rolling over. Then the second company is Silver Lake, a large technology-focused investment firm that is active in North America, Europe, and Asia. And the third company is Affinity Partners, which is a Miami-based investment firm that was founded in 2021 by Jared Kushner. If you don't know who Jared Kushner is, he is an American investor, of course, but also real estate developer and a political figure. And if you know the name, you might remember him as the son-in-law of the current US President Donald Trump, and he also served as senior advisor in the Trump administration from 2017 to 2021. So he is one of the investors of EA now. Now, what could the consequences be of EA being acquired by these 3 investors? Well, first of all, it means that they're no longer subject to many of the regulatory and reporting burdens that they would have to face, or maybe would have faced as a public company. Then maybe it allows the leadership to make more strategic and long-term decisions without worrying too much about short-term reactions of the market, as I had explained before. But of course, the new investors also want to see that the company is growing and getting money back. So they might also push some more financial discipline or push some bigger performance goals or whatever on the company. That could happen as well, of course. So for us as players, this could mean that EA might invest, or the investors might invest more into the flagship franchises, which are Battlefield, The Sims, and also all of the sports titles they have. And they might also invest in newer technologies. Well, it could also mean that we see more polished games, at least within the franchises that I had named before. But then again, it might also lead to more aggressive monetization, especially in the free-to-play titles that we have, like maybe Skate or The Sims. It might also mean that smaller titles, or maybe even indie titles that EA had published before, might be cancelled or might not be published under EA at least. And another point, and that's probably the most interesting one, is that we might see less transparency in company decisions and also fewer public statements about internal changes and decisions and so on. So I think there are some interesting times ahead. I hope this gave you a bit of an overview of what this might mean for us. So it could be beneficial for us as players because they're not focusing on pleasing shareholders anymore, and they don't depend so much on the market and its reactions. But then again, having these three very big investors, they're also having a very different background, if I might say so. The outcome could be pretty mixed. I don't think that it means a lot for the next Battlefield game, so for Battlefield 6, but it could have an impact on the future of Battlefield, on future titles, because it's still a Battlefield channel, and I guess that's what's most interesting for us. But since EA is the publisher of the game, I think it's also interesting to see what's going on with them and what's going on around them. And this company going private, that is actually a really, really huge thing. And it's also, I think, the kind of the biggest deal of companies going private in recent years. If you're wondering, maybe that's a question that's coming to your mind, and I didn't talk about this yet. So if you're wondering what happens to the shareholders, they will receive $210 for each of their share in cash. So that's 25% above what the price was on the last unaffected market close on September 25. So they're not getting out crying from this as well. But in the long run, this will definitely have an effect on us as the players, on our games that we play, that are published by EA at least. And it will potentially affect the studios that are working for EA as well. Maybe there will be restructurings as well, hopefully not layoffs again. But in one way or the other, it will affect us, the studios working for EA, and EA themselves as well. And yeah, that was it for today. A little bit different video. I hope it was clear what I was talking about. I'm not talking about this kind of stuff a lot. As usual, tell me what you think about this in the comments below, what you think, what kind of effect this will have on us and on EA or on the studios. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. I'm Catwoman and you are awesome.